Yo, what's good, YouTube? It's Austin here from MiddieBeats, and today I'm gonna be bringing you a video making a beat. This beat is gonna be like a Gunna type beat. I'm gonna show you guys how to make some Gunna drums, and yeah, this is a beat that I would make if I was making a beat for my man Gunna, even though he's not my man because I don't know him. So I'm gonna start off, and I'm gonna go into the MiddieBeats Pinnacle Sample library. If you guys don't know, we do have a sample library out. The Pinnacle Sample library that you can check out on our website, MiddieBeats.com. So I'm gonna take, there's a loop I wanted to use. I think it's this one. Yeah, so it's that one right there. I'm gonna bring this in here. So I'm gonna, let's see, I think I'm gonna go ahead and normalize it, reset that, and let me hear this. I think it's gonna be sort of like a, I might go on the internet and try to find the acapella for SKYBOX. I'm not sure if I'll get copyrighted for that, but I might be making a SKYBOX remix here. Alright, so next thing I'm gonna do is I'm going to make a pattern. We'll make it I like to make my patterns 8 bars so that it's not repeating. That's only if it's, you know, if the BPM is above 100. I like to do that. If it's like at 87 or something like that, I'll just leave it at like 4 bars usually. Just depends really. So let's get into it. I'm gonna go into the MiddieBeats Rocket drum kit. I'm gonna pick a few drums. Probably go with the old school, you know, the classic Z808. We'll probably use, let's see, yeah, probably use that clap. Probably use, let me see, probably these hats up, and maybe open hat, maybe like a side snare, like a simple little let's see, so that should be good. Also want to use some sort of perk. I might use a hat. Let's see. We'll see. Okay, so let's get right into it. I'm gonna start off by just doing the old school, you know, the regular little clap here. I'm actually gonna make this 4 bars. I know I said I'd do 8, but I'm gonna extend it in a second. I'm gonna start by doing this. And usually what I do, especially with Gunna beats, is I like to add a lot of space in the hats. I'm gonna start off by doing fill 2 steps. I usually do the open hats on the 1, like on the down, just because it sounds makes the 808 hit harder. Go ahead and turn the 808 up. Go ahead and turn the clap. Probably turn that up. Let me go ahead and put a clipper on my master. Go ahead and put that on there. Turn that down. That should be good. All right, so let's go ahead and I'm just gonna start with the hats. I'm gonna go ahead and mess around with some stuff and figure out a bounce that I like. Oh, I forgot one other thing I do. I like to put this in the master. Go ahead and turn it down. And then I'm gonna go ahead and EQ out the lows. We'll just do about 130. That should be good. Maybe. I think there's a bass part of the sample right here. So we're just gonna use this section with no bass, and then when we structure it, we'll use the bass and we'll automate the EQ. I'll show you guys. So like I said, let me get to these hats and see what we cook up. So this is like my basic pattern right here. What I like to do is I like to start off with a bass. Even with the hats, pretty much with all the drums, I like to start off with like a bass bounce. Like I try to make the simplest patterns I can make to start me off with some sort of bounce, whatever feel I'm going for. This one, since it's a Gunna beat and it's kind of sounds like SKYBOX, it gives me that SKYBOX vibe. I'm trying to give it a lot of space to really fit that Gunna flow. So this is what I came up with for the beginning of this. So super basic. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go back in here and I'm gonna start filling stuff in. And there is one bounce I really like, which is this this double right here. So what I think I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take another sort of, I want sort of like a perk. Yeah, this might work. So I'm not gonna use a perk. I'm actually gonna use a second hat. And I'm gonna put it maybe like that. Let me see how that sounds. So I really like that. I switched up the hats a little bit, the bass hats. This is what I was talking about as I fill stuff in. I kind of change stuff around, but I found this little bounce that I like. And then I'm just gonna add some side snares, probably right here. Then I'm gonna add the perk. I'm probably gonna do that maybe here and here. Let's see how that sounds. As you can see right here, I added the 808 back in. A lot of times, especially with Gunna beats, I like to add the 808 like right with the claps, especially at the end, because I don't know why, it just hits different. I like how that sounds, but I really don't make I like the 808s not being too busy. I like them just hitting, just not super busy, not super crazy. I like to leave a lot of space. So I'm gonna go now is I'm gonna go back into the hats and I'm gonna start adding my rolls wherever I like them, wherever I think they'll sound good. So I'm gonna go through and do that. So I really like how that sounds. I think I got something right here. You can see I added a few rolls here and there. Nothing crazy. What I did do is I added little accents here, which I like to do this a lot. I like to accent certain parts of the hat patterns that I like. So right here I added these two little accents below the actual hi-hat notes. I added two down here just to give it a little bit extra emphasis on these two hits. Right here, another thing I like to, as like the roll, I like to do it downward like that. It's pretty, add some flavor to it. A lot of times what I'll do is I'll take this, copy it over, and then I'll go through and I'll change just a few things to give it a little bit of variation, but for the sake of the video I'm not going to do that. I'm actually going to add an extra open hat, different one, just to give some variation, to add a little bit more bounce, and then I'm going to go back, figure out the 808 notes, and then yeah, that'll pretty much be it. So yeah, that's pretty, I like that a lot. I actually didn't add a different hat. I started to add a different hat, but I'm not going to add it. I'm just going to delete that, and then I'm going to go back in here. I'm going to put these 808s up, and then I'm going to figure out the notes. I'm sure you guys have seen this method, take your 808s, put them up a couple octaves to really hear the notes. And yeah, we're gonna figure out the notes for this. Alright, so that sounds pretty good to me. I think that's in key. Oh, another tip is make sure you tune your 808. So you just right click on the 808, edit an audio editor, and it'll bring you to Edison. Click on this little button right here and detect pitch regions. And you go here and you can see it's in C. So when it's in C, you just go here, go to this little button here, and make sure you right click on whatever note it said, and obviously it was C, so I just left it in C, which I already knew it was in C, so I just didn't do anything. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. I'm gonna go through and structure this beat, and then we will see what happens. So as I was structuring this, I decided to go on the internet and find this acapella for SKYBOX. So as I was listening to it, I went ahead and changed some of the drums around the acapella, and this is actually something that I've done in the past, and I've used this technique a few times. Is I actually go through and I'll make beats around an acapella. It's just something for you guys to consider. Even if it's just the drums, you can still find a flow, find a bounce, and it can really help you add drums. So let me show you guys what I did. I have this still. Oh, and I changed the velocity on a few things. This is still the same, but I also took my hats, and I had the similar bass that I had earlier. I just changed some of the rolls around, like here, and I added a few more. And instead of going down, I actually just put them on the bottom, and I made a couple of them. I made this one like go upwards, and just to give it some variation. But I actually added a few extra rolls. So yeah, that's pretty much that. So I don't know if I'm gonna get copyrighted for this, but I'm gonna show you guys what it sounds like. Oh, another thing I did is in the sample, it does have a bass part right here, has the bass in it. So instead of just cutting out completely, I let the EQ, I put the EQ down, and then this part I took the bass out with the 808. Whenever the 808 comes in, I cut the bass out with this EQ right here. And all you do to do this is you put your EQ in, and you just right click here, and you do create automation clip, and it'll come out like this, and you just adjust it like so. And then yeah, so I just have the EQ turned on whenever the 808 comes in, and I turn it back off whenever the 808's not in and the sample has bass in it. So yeah, I'm gonna let you guys hear this SKYBOX acapella with this beat over it, and hopefully I don't get copyrighted. Actually, I'm gonna pitch it down a little bit, hoping that maybe it'll help me not get copyrighted. I don't know if this works, but let's try it. All right, here we go. Man, what's up, bro? Hey, this is kind of fire. Hope you guys enjoyed this. I didn't completely structure it all the way out just because I'm too lazy. But this is the beat. So yeah, I'll just let you guys hear this and let it play. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.